Some of the fastest races on the planet have already won here. Welcome to the 16th edition of the Red Bull Valparaiso Cerro Abajo urban downhill from here in Chile. We're about 120 kilometers northwest of Chile's capital, Santiago, for this downhill race through the city, one of the most recognized urban downhill races on the planet. I'm Rob Warner and we're about to get going with the 15 fastest qualifiers, which was topped by Thomas Slavic, who broke his own course record from last year, taking just over 2 minutes 48 seconds to get down this 1.8 kilometre track, full of man-made jumps, wall rides, staircases, people's front rooms and stray dogs. It's certainly a race with a difference. Well, let's have a look at the track now then. And it really is completely different to any of the World Cup tracks that we're used to seeing on Red Bull TV. This one, full concrete, top to bottom, very little dirt, man-made obstacles. Actually, the course put together on the day here and taken down swiftly afterwards. Has to be, it does go through someone's front room. Big wall ride now there at the bottom of the course. Wall absolutely vertical there. There is the, well, better say thanks to the lady who's lent the front room of her blue house to us today. The bus jump. The WD-40 jump down towards the bottom. Another big step down. Huge crowds here. Come every year now to watch this massive event in South America. And there it is, the finish line. So we're about to show you the 15 fastest qualifiers in reverse order. And Thomas Slavic, that man there, is one of them. Last year's winner here. Twice a four-cross world champion. Johannes Fischbach, the 2016 winner here, missed last year with injury. Bernard Kerr, second last year at his first attempt. The fun-loving rider from London in the UK. And Brooke MacDonald, a downhill World Cup winning rider from New Zealand. And apparently they have reinforced the ramps just for this man. Marcelo Gutierrez, another one of the fastest World Cup downhillers on the planet, and the winner here back in 2013. So there it is, the World Heritage, actually UNESCO World Heritage Site now, protected here. Not that the riders worry too much about that. So, Oscar Harmström getting things underway. The common sail rider going down on the very first turn. Oh, any dignity has been stripped. I think he should wear leathers, not riding pants, for slides like that. Well, he can enjoy the rest of his run down here now. And you can see this course, the stairs all the way down it. Incredibly steep sections of this course. You can hear the dogs. Now, believe it or not, speaking of Bernard Kerr this morning, the dogs are a very real problem. They do run out on the track. So hopefully they've been put on a short leash for the finals here. Doubling down there, Harmstrom. Look at that. No room for error. Look at centimetres each side of his handlebars. Only just gets up on that ramp there to take him onto the rooftops. And now he comes through the house. You can see the owner there just stepping back out of the way. Probably going to take dinner across to her husband in the other room. This is one of the flattest sections of the course. It's quite physical. Oscar looking like he very nearly got over that bus. Big jump, that one. And now, another big gap jump. Look at the crowds here. Lining this track, top to bottom. A rare piece of dirt on the course. And Oscar looking like he's been caught out there. His run, of course, in essence over with that crash at the top. Pushing a big gear there. So what a stunning setting for a mountain bike race. Now in its 16th year. So, Echeverria from Chile in the lead at the moment. A 2:33.79 is the time to beat. Excuse me, at split 2. He would have won the race by about 15 seconds with that. At split 2 that there. So, Mio Tiempo, the fastest time at that point. The man on track there on the left of screen, Oscar Harmstrom from Sweden. The fastest qualifier actually is Thomas Slavik, as I said, with a 2:48.1, which is faster than the winning time from last year. The track does move a little bit each year though, it's not exactly the same. Plenty of encouragement down here for Harmstrom, he's going to need it. The gradient really tempering off down towards the finish line, big sprint down towards the line. Out of the container, styles it up, Harmstrom across the line then, or nearly. Another jump out of a container, and there he goes across the line. 3:06 for Oscar Harmstrom. And that actually is the leading time so far. So despite that crash, Harmstrom is in the hot seat for now. I don't think he'll stay there long though. Let's have a look at that first turn crash. A little overexcited. Maybe he'll have a go at MotoGP after this. But he looked good everywhere else down the track. Oh, perhaps missed time in the last couple of those stairs there. Riders saying it's difficult to remember whether to double or triple some of those staircases. The big bus jump. So, Armstrong then still styling it up for the crowd. So this man, you might think actually that he would be from Chile. He's from Argentina, but his name is Santiago Di Santiago. 7 times he's been 7th here. 5 times in the top 10 apart from that. And he is Mr. Consistency. What can he do today? Can he improve on that? And break into the top 5 for the first time, then it's aggressive start for him. Safely around that first turn. Really tight up against that curb there. Gives him a good line around that turn as well. And no showboating, keeping it low and fast at the moment then. Dog's not happy, they want to be out watching. Thanks to the owners for putting those ones away. Singling down some of those stairs there. Doubling now again towards the bottom. Look at the railings on his left, a wall on his right. Not a track for the faint-hearted. So Harnstrom, a 221.9 there at that split. Still a long way down to that though for Santiago de Santiago. Out of the blue house. Oh, an aggressive, sprinting hard there. Deciding to squash the bus jump, which is okay, but if you can clear it and land on the backside, of course, it will give you a boost of speed. Huge crowds assembled here in the sun, in the southern hemisphere. It's their summertime. Nicely off that drop. Up on the curb. Well, I heard the crowd making some noise there. Don't know if there was an incident or not. Let's see where he is. So the Argentinian yet to come into shot. Here he is. No, everything looks good. Pedaling harder. This is a course that requires skill and fitness. Fast it is down on the tarmac there. And he is. Onto the wall ride then. Safely through there. Now the flatter bottom now towards the bottom there, towards the finish line. Need to pedal as hard as you can. Don't want anything left in the tank when you cross that line. Out of the container he goes. One more jump to go. So Santiago de Santiago crosses the line. Is he faster? Yes, he goes into the #1 spot. 5.57 up. Well, I don't know if he'll be in any mood for chatting. He might want to get his breath back for a minute after that. 14 riders left to go here then in Valparaiso. Interested to see him squash those staircases there. Might see some of the riders later on doubling down there, taking more risk. And he squashed that big bus jump as well, although if you haven't got the speed and do pull for it and don't make it, of course you have given away some valuable time. People saying that that is one of the hardest parts of the course, that wall ride. The landing incredibly narrow on it, and I've been told quite likely to move as well during the course of the event. So we're on to the next rider now, Alessandro Corrals from Chile. Actually only raced here once before, back in 2015. You do have to say that that is, I would say anyway, a fair disadvantage. The course is built this morning. The riders only get 3 or 4 runs of practice, and then it's a race run. So the longer you can spend on this track, the better you're going to know it. It's very intricate, a concrete maze most of the way down. To carry good speed through that right-hander there. Now he's up out of the saddle. Another rider not getting over that jump, although look at the length of it. I mean, it is actually a full-size bus they're trying to jump. Plenty of powerful pedal strokes needed here. You can see why someone like Thomas Slavic Does so well here, the former four-cross world champion. Power, not an issue for that man. So, 2:16 points, 667 the time to beat. At that split. Oh, mistake there. That cost him a lot of time there. A foot down, looked like he slid on that coming into that off that turn there. Now that means that he's lost all his forward momentum, or a lot of it, for this long straight. So he could lose time all the way down it. He's 0.8 back then. So in touch, less than a second off. Definitely very doable. He's going to need a lot of fitness though now. Oh, looking down at his bike. Perhaps that was the problem further up the course. Looks like he's got some transmission issues of some description, I don't know. Hard on the pedals there. Possibly a soft rear tyre, one of the two. Yeah, the crowd loving it. Bike looking okay. So what's it going to be then? Here he comes. Oh, he goes into second place, 2.6 back. Losing time from that split down and disgusted with that back tyre. So clearly losing some air pressure there. They run tubeless tyres on these bikes. And sometimes, especially like on a stair edge like these here, on a sharp edge, the tyre can get so squashed that it actually, they call it a burp, it will just let a bit of air out and then reseal under compression. And a flat rear tyre, soft rear tyre is not going to help you on the hard tarmac here in Valparaiso. '13th fastest qualifier, Mayo Jeremias from Argentina now. So only less than 10 seconds actually, the difference between the top 10 qualifiers. This man was 8.83 back over that 2:48.1 by Slavic, so he's got some serious time to make up. Has been in the top 10 here in the past, this man. Those dogs sound hungry to me. Carrying good speed down those stairs. And holds a good line there onto that rooftop as well. Through the blue house. And now back hard on the pedals. Squashes the bus as well, that man. So raced here once before in 2015. Santiago de Santiago in the hot seat at the moment. That's not his finish time there though on the right of the screen, that is his split time. So what can Jeremias do? Nice to see the barriers actually almost going to the floor. Should stop any wild animals getting on the track. Oh, incredibly difficult actually, that wall ride we just saw there with the landing. One of the hardest parts of the course, and critical to get it right, because if you don't, you'll lose time down here. That's where we saw actually Santiago de Santiago have that problem. So it must have been off the landing of that. He's 3 seconds up, this man there, nearly 3.5 seconds. Wow. The Argentinian. Oh, has he lost his chain? He's pumping the bike like he has. I heard a clatter. Is the chain gone on that thing? He certainly has got problems then. Oh no! And he was 3.5 seconds up. A disaster. So the chain off that bike. Oh my word. Yeah, I feel for you. We're seeing more World Cups than we would at more mechanicals than we would at a World Cup race today. Flat tyre, chains coming off. I'm surprised he didn't just ride down the bonnet there of the Nissan. They'll thank him for not doing that. And look how popular this event is with the locals. Great to see downhill in the centre of a city like this, taking the sport to the masses. He's off. I've had enough. Mate wants a selfie. He's not so bothered. Okay. So Nicky Garcia de Venusa. Now this man has come from enduro to urban downhill. Travelled here all the way from Spain. And he's got to learn this track quick today if he's going to get himself a good result. Limited track time. Oh, right on the edge of the staircase there. Onto the rooftops, safely drops off there. Straight through the middle of the blue house, onto one of the only dirt sections on the track. Holds a good line off it. Now sprinting to get back up to speed. Looked to me like he cleared the bus. First rider we've seen get over that properly. So first time here in Valparaiso. And you can see how physical it is. A lot of pedaling in between the jumps and the staircases, just to keep the heart rate right up there. Oh, and it's a good time from him. He's 3.7, nearly 4 seconds up then. So the Spanish man is making his long journey worthwhile. And bearing in mind that the man in the hot seat had a soft rear tyre and lost time at the bottom, this should be the fastest time so far. Digging deep now. Really physical, the very last part of this track. It doesn't matter though, you can collapse as soon as you cross that line. Just one more drop to go then for this man, and he is going to go into the first place. Yes, Divanuso, 255.1. Fastest rider so far.
Ay, ay, ay. Nicky García pedaleando hasta la muerte. Ahí se cambia Argentina por España. Arriba el Francis Nicky, a disputar su momento. Ahí apareció nuestro amigo.
I think he's going to want to lie down after that, yeah. Get yourself comfy. Not sure how long he'll be there, some way outside the time of Slavic with that 2:48.1, the fastest qualifier, actually unofficial course record from last year.
Atento entonces, está preparado el público chileno. Viene a iniciar el jaque representando a Curicó. Hoy acá clasificado en la bicicleta chica, en la bicicleta de enduro. Vamos a ver qué logra iniciar el jaque. Tuvo un accidente grave.
Well, they've just joined us. We're live on Red Bull TV from Chile. It's the Valparaiso Cerro Abajo urban downhill race. The 16th edition of this now world-famous fixture on the calendar. And we're 11 riders to go, not far away now from the top 10, which does include some World Cup regulars that regular viewers of Red Bull TV might know. This is the fastest man of the day so far, Garcia de Venuso from Spain. 2:55.1, the time to beat. 17 seconds back off that fastest qualifier. Okay, Milciades Jacques now. Last year made the finals. And in 2 days' time, actually, he is taking part in the Andes Pacifico Enduro race, where he will have the #1 plate after his showing there last year. Safely past the dogs, the rabid dogs. And a great aerial shot of him coming down this staircase. Whoa, like he went deep on those ones there. And split one now comes into play, and he is 1.3 up. And I thought I was right, actually. Look at that, a single crown fork for this man, not a triple clamp fork. A triple crown fork, like a downhill fork. He has more what we'd call an enduro style fork on. You can see it there, more like what you'd see on a regular kind of mountain bike. Less travel than the downhill bike, but that whole bike will be lighter and potentially faster if you can deal with the staircases and the big jumps on it. Of course, it doesn't have the soft plush feel of a downhill bike. But the enduro racer's sticking to what he knows. And you know what? These enduro bikes are getting so good now. We saw Sam Hill ride one into the top 10 at the World Championships last year in Australia, the Downhill World Championships. A single crown fork now offering up to 180 millimeters of travel. So not really that far off what a big downhill fork will give you. So up at split one. Keep your eye on the top of that street there. You can see that wall ride, that critical wall ride. Nearly vertical, you have to get the bike wheels down again first. Oh, and he gets it wrong. And yeah, into the crowd there. Incredibly difficult. Riders saying that is the most technical part of the course. And a mistake there is massively costly, as it's relatively flat afterwards. And he looks like he's had enough, this man. Perhaps, yeah, twisted the front end of the bike. So his run is done as far as taking the fastest time. "25 seconds lost then, so big mistake. Costed him a huge chunk of time getting those bars straight again. You can guarantee that bike won't feel quite as good as it did either. Never managed to get the bars exactly straight. Safely around that wall ride. So the Spanish rider is going to stay in the hot seat at the moment. The Chile fans, noisy, especially for their own riders. Jack Milciades goes across the line in the 5th place. And there are your top 6 at the moment. So, Spain leads here in South America. So the next rider on track there, Alberto Nicolas from Chile, another rider from the home country. Riding for Banshee Bikes, 10th there in 2016. Coming into this long stair section. Whoa. Well, perhaps doubling more than we've seen so far. Yes, he is. Carrying unbelievable speed down there and rewarded with a 3.6 second lead then at split one. Wow. Taking some risks, but they're working for him. Hard on the pedals. Sprinting that downhill bike. And he's going to clear, I would imagine. Oh, not quite getting over the bus there, not far off. But that's the part of the track where an enduro bike will be faster. The short travel bikes will be quicker on the pedaling, but slower on the staircases, you'd imagine. .212 at that split, he has to beat. Well, that was fast across there on the flat part. It might be the slow, flatter parts of this track where this race will be won or lost. Remember, look at the top of the street there around that tree. You can just see the edge of that ramp. Most riders will set up quite high on it, yet right off the top corner there. That gives you more time in the air just to get that bike wheels down again. Well, 4 seconds now the advantage, using every inch of the tarmac. If he carries on like this, good chance he'll improve on that 10th place he had here 2 years ago. Nicely over the wall right, around that wall ride there. That wall incredibly slippery, people are saying. Stunning colours of the buildings. Provided an amazing background for this race. So down towards the line comes Nicolas Alberto for Chile. Is it going to be enough? He's going to go fastest, yes! 2:50.041 now. The time is tumbling down. And that, very respectful indeed. Only Slavic with a 2:48 was the fastest qualifier, so he's in touch with that. 5 seconds quicker than his qualifying time. Here's later rundown. And a big part of it might well have been down those stairs there, risking everything. Low on that wall. Grabbing another little bit of time. So the next rider already on track. Philip Agurto. Great to see so many riders here representing Chile as well. Downhill, very strong scene here in South America. Especially urban downhill, actually. They've made it their own. So this young man, straight out of the juniors and into the top 10 last year. And one of the biggest talents, really, that we'll be looking to from South America over the next few years. Just 0.1 back then. I think that's the toilet door that's getting blown open every time a rider goes through there. Hopefully not. Give someone a fright. Down towards the bus. Decides to squash it. Doesn't risk trying to jump it and coming up short. Bouncing off the end, which will lose you time. Again, nice low line through that wooden turn there, that man-made turn. You've got to keep those pedals turning till it gets steep again. Here we go then, that critical wall ride with the man-made landing. Caught a few riders out so far. That looked perfect from where I was sat. So 208.5 is the split to beat now. The second split coming up. And it's going to be close. Is he going to be outside it? No, he's up. by just over half a second then. So this is a good run then for Filiberto. Giving the crowd plenty to cheer about the Chile riders this afternoon. Safely over that wall ride. A very narrow landing, tricky there. You've got to dig deep here, give it absolutely everything. I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of the riders sprinting all the way down here. Not sitting down at all. 2:50.04 is the time to beat. Oh, it's going to be, it's not enough. Oh, just outside then. That sees him go into second place. 8 riders there on that have started already. And now only 8 riders left to go. Styles it beautifully off that drop. Really in touch at that first split. Well, one of the fastest World Cup races on the planet then. The winner here back in 2013, Marcelo Gutierrez for the factory off-road team. A man who certainly does not lack horsepower, incredibly powerful when it comes to turning the pedals and incredibly skilled when it comes to the downhill bits as well, the steeper parts. 8th at last year's World Championships. He's been 5th of the world back in 2015, the Colombian. Oh, smooth down this staircase. And he's up by just over half a second. Onto the tin roof. Real tight turn there into the blue house. Now watch him pedal here. Surely this man will clear the big bus jump. Winding it up. Here we go. Gutierrez laying down the horsepower. Pulls hard. Gets over it cleanly. Gets some nice speed now down here. From catching that backside. Third time here for Marcelo Gutierrez. He'll be thankful of some previous experience on this course, that's for sure. Choosing to ride his full downhill bike there. Seen so far, Gutierrez hasn't done anything wrong at all. Top of the street, watch him come around off that wooden turn. Perfect. And now pedaling hard down here. Do you have to think what sort of speed this man will get if he gets hard on the pedals? 2:08, the split he has to beat by Nicholas. And he's up by 3.1 seconds then. So Gutierrez, you can see how hard he's pushing. All the way around that turn, right on the edge of the track. And fast down here. Lovely on the wall ride. And now Gutierrez, only a pedal stands between here and the finish. Oh, am I seeing him tear up cobblestones here? He's laying down so much power. Surely Gutierrez will extend that time to go fastest. 2:41, 2:42, it's going to be a good time from Gutierrez. 2:45.5, he goes fastest. And actually smashes the time of Thomas Slavic from qualifying. So that is a new course record as well. 2.5 seconds about, faster than Slavic's qualifier. And those riders at the top now will know what Gutierrez has done. They're going to have to find something special to beat that time. Really nice clean run from Marcelo Gutierrez. The 28-year-old from Colombia. Well, all the stray dogs had better get out of the way because the big dog is on track. Brooke MacDonald, known as the Bulldog. Probably going to feel quite at home when he hears those hounds howling as he comes by. His first time here is return to Mondraker, the brand that saw him win a World Cup back in 2012. I wonder if he's barking back in that helmet of his. A couple of difficult years for Brooke MacDonald on the World Cup circuit. But I think we will see him, cleanly down there, return to his former greatness now in 2018. So, a deficit of less than half a second, 0.3 of a second at that split. Split one. Surely, MacDonald's going to try and boost this big pass. Pulls hard. Could have landed in the next turn, judging by that shot. Not quite sure where he was. All the way from New Zealand. Desperate to race on his new team. '2009 Junior World Champion, this man. At time of Marcela Gutierrez, though, is going to take some beating. These two big rivals, of course, on the World Cup circuit. So let's watch him come onto this street. A little bit lower in the turn there. Perfect, though. So 2:05 at split two is what Brooke MacDonald needs to beat. It's going to be pretty close, but I think he's going to be outside it. A little way outside it. So MacDonald losing time through the mid-section of this course. "26 years old now, Brooke MacDonald. One of the most revered racers on the World Cup circuit. Laying down the power. This is a man that leaves nothing on the track. Well, he has been known to leave himself on the track on occasion. He tries that hard, Brooke. He is an absolute brawler on a mountain bike. He's going to be outside that time of Gutierrez, 3.3 back for him. He still goes into second place with only 6 riders left now. There's your top 10 at the moment.
Otro deportista Red Bull que tenemos acá presente en esta bajada. Y un aplauso para Brooke MacDonald de Nueva Zelanda que termina recorriendo hasta la segunda posición.
So the New Zealander Brooke MacDonald making his way down. A good run from him, wasn't enough to topple off Marcelo Gutierrez. And we're going to hear from fellow New Zealander Matt Walker.
Matt ganó Rotorua RDH last year. You are running also some enduro races and also doing some urban races. So tell us about the difference between the races that you already compete and these ones.
Yeah, so I just enjoy riding bikes, so that's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing all the enduro, downhill, everything I can basically, just enjoying riding a bike. So I know these ones are probably some of my favourite events just due to the fact that the vibe around there, like you bring the riding to the people, not expect people to go to the mountains to watch, say, a World Cup. I don't know, it's just real great, good atmosphere, everything's so sick.
Sounds like he's enjoying himself down here in Chile. So Bernard Kerr takes his position in the start hut. No leaving this one early. They've got to open the gate for you before you can get out of here. 6 to go. His debut here last year, a second place. Actually only topped by the legends themselves, Cedric Gracia and Philippe Polk, who managed to win here first time. What can Bernard Kerr do then with a year's experience of this track under his belt? Kerr missed most of last season with a shoulder injury, required surgery. Came back strong though, like he hadn't been away from the sport for a minute. To take second place at Red Bull Hardline. He won it the year before. Kerr, in my opinion, one of the most gifted riders, one of the most flamboyant anyway. An incredible rider on his motocross bike as well. And he's up at the first split by a second. Has he got the power on the lower section? No, to match Gutierrez. I do get the feeling Kerr's going to need to have a little bit of a cushion before things flatten out down towards that finish line. Pedaling hard everywhere. Clears over the big bus. The power's there when he needs it. Worked on his fitness a lot over the last few years, Bernard. You have to if you want to compete at the highest level now in World Cup downhill. Had a brilliant ride in Val di Sole in 2016 at the World Championships for that 5th place. Drafted in at the last minute as well onto the team. Okay, this shouldn't bother Kerr one bit. Skills to pay the bills. Quite a low line off that boarding. Makes that landing absolutely perfectly. Has he got the fitness? Has he got the power to match Gutierrez though from here on down? So 2:05, is he in touch at this split? Yes, he is. Wow, just 200ths back then for Bernard Kerr. Sorry, 200ths up, excuse me. The blue graphic throwing me. So the advantage with Bernard Kerr. Can he keep it now all the way down to the finish line? Gutierrez was tearing up those cobblestones there. But Kerr looking good. Definitely stood up, pedaling hard here. Has to tuck at the end there, give his legs a little rest. Long out of the container. So 2:45 goes by. Kerr goes into second place. Loses nearly a second on that sprint to the line. That isn't really testament. That isn't really anything against Bernard. It's testament to just how strong Marcelo Gutierrez is when it comes down to horsepower. But Kerr will be happy enough with that, I think. Well, I guess he'd like to win, but brilliant riding up top. Bernard on his way to New Zealand for a good few weeks training now. Gets back to the UK a week before the first World Cup in April. Los Angeles, of course, which you can watch live on Red Bull TV. Okay, Ferreira Pedro now from Chile. 3rd here last year. So, without a doubt, he's the hottest Chile on the mountain, on the hillside today. Oh, deep. Oh! He's gone off the track there. Did he? What was that? Looked to me like he went off the side of the course there. He did well to regain it if he did. I'm not sure if the officials are having a little chat amongst themselves there. Well, less than 0.2 back for this man. 9 times he's been here. A second back in 2009. Nicely out of the blue house. They love him so much here. They run along the side of the track to encourage him. Squashes it onto the big bus there. Waiting for him to come in a shot off the WD-40 drop on the common saddle bike. Now these are the parts of the course where you can definitely lose time, the flatter parts. Pretty good across there. Again, back onto the tarmac, carrying good speed there as well. Amazing just how lined this track is with spectators all the way down it. And here he comes then, Pedro. 2:05, the clock ticks by. So Gutierrez splits, goes by. Oh, it's close though, you know. Within half a second, but they've all got to deal with that Gutierrez's power down towards the finish line. This man tucking, that might be a wise thing to do, saving a bit of energy for when he needs it. Giving himself a little bit of recovery. Now he's hard on the pedals here. Digging deep. Can the crowd urge him down the finish line any quicker? So, he's not going to beat that time of Marcelo Gutierrez. Where is he going to go? He crosses the line in the third place. So, 2.8 back. Losing the best part of 2.5 seconds at the bottom. So it's Colombia from the UK at the moment. Even that big mistake at the top of the course, not hindering him too much. So 4 riders now to go. The 2016 winner, injured last year actually, didn't make it here. Johannes Fischbach from Germany. You'd have to say this man becoming a bit of an urban downhill specialist. Riding for Radon. Actually won the City Downhill Tour in 2016. And a man who's had an incredibly diverse career, one of the top 4 cross racers on the planet. Before the World Cup series for that got stopped. Turned his hand to downhill with a lot of success, and he's going well today as well. 1 second up then at split 1. So Gutierrez's top section of this course, definitely beatable. Is the bottom half though? That's the question for the last 3 riders after this man. And Fischbach, you know, 4 cross a lot like BMX. Riders need incredible power. This man has plenty of it. And gets up over that bus. And when I say turned his hand to downhill with some success, he got 9th at the World Championships back in 2013. As well as many 4-cross World Cup podiums. Racing down towards the sea. Making these big drops look easy, all these riders. Incredible what the machinery can do these days, coupled with the skills of these top World Cup racers, these top downhill racers. Off that big wall ride nicely. Down through the tin roofs of Valparaiso Cerro Abajo. If you just joined us on Red Bull TV, only 3 riders left to go. We're live from Chile. Fischbach on course. And outside the split time there of Gutierrez. And I'm not sure he's going to be able to pull that kind of time back. In fact, I'd say he can't. And Fischbach has got some serious horsepower too. But not over 2 seconds in those legs, I'm sure. Looks like we've got a track invasion. A little bit behind, still 3 riders left to go, people. Here comes Johannes Fischbach, then down towards the line. Oh, and it's going to be close, you know. Wow, look at that. He pulls some time back, some serious time back. I'm amazed. To finish just 0.18 off Gutierrez. So, Gutierrez time looks beatable. 3 riders left now. 3 very fast riders. Matt Walker from New Zealand. Matthias Nunes. An amazing qualifier from that man. Actually only 0.63 off Slavic in qualifying, and then it's Slavic himself. But let's get back to the action. So from New Zealand, Matt Walker. Finished second in an EWS. He's had podium in IXS. Wins in national downhill races. Don't be surprised to see this man get on the podium here today or better. Third fastest qualifier. And incredibly, it's his first time here, which to me would have to be a massive disadvantage, but it doesn't look like it, does it? He's nearly a second up then at that first split. Wow, incredible stuff. Straight on the pedals as soon as he's on the tarmac. I'd say he's going to try and get over this bus. Yes, pedaling hard here. So Walker hard on the pedals and over that bus with ease. Can he join the Philip Polk and Cedric Gracia club and win here at his first attempt? So far, so good for Matt Walker. Squashes that drop. Skips across the curb there. More stairs. And now here comes that difficult left-hander. Right there at the top of that street. Oh, Walker nails it. Comes from a mountain biking family, his sister. Sarah Walker took the silver medal at the London Olympics in BMX. Oh, a Scandinavian flick there into that turn. Walker is pushing on. Using the gradient there just to rest for a second, gets aerodynamic. Now it's all down to him. Time to burst those lungs. Inside the top 30 of the World Championships in Cairns at the end of last season as well. 2:45, the time to beat. Is Gutierrez looking at his second win here. Oh, here we go, then down to the line. Oh, Walker goes into the #1 position by nearly 3 seconds. It's a massive run from Matt Walker. 2:42.6 is now the time to beat. An incredible first time here for Matt Walker. Never seen this course before today. It wasn't built until this morning, and he's not been here in years previous. What a performance then from the New Zealander. Oh, two-wheel sliding there, right on the very limit. Amazing stuff from Walker on the downhill bike there. Boy, the tarmac, it's slippery. 2 riders left to go. You can see the helmet of Thomas Slavic closest to us. Before him, though, it's Matthias Nunes, the localist of the locals. More used to staircases than dirt. He has the talent, and if he can put down a smooth run, temper that aggression, he could take the win here today, much to the delight of the home crowd. Through the dog pound, onto the staircase he goes. More stairs now. Timing has to be perfect down here. Not much room for error left and right of those handlebars either. He is sending the staircases. Oh, bouncing his way down there, knocking cans out of his way. This is a live course in every essence of the word. Carrying good speed through the blue house there. Landed deep, actually, right at the bottom of that ramp. Showed he was going fast. Wide line there, that should give him a good run onto this bus. Sprinting hard. And he gets over it. So 2:02 at the second split is what he needs to beat. Nunes Matias on track. 6th here in 2015. 5th last year, so a good run. This run should be his best to ever finish here in Valparaiso. That's the turn where Matt Walker nearly crashed out unbelievably. Two-wheel drifting it, more like dirt tracking his mountain bike around that turn. So Nunes down that long straight street, steeper than it looks actually. You can see by how fast the riders are going there. The 2:02 and he's up. Wow, the time is tumbling down again. Wow, Nunes laying one down. Into the wall ride. Whoa. Had to really carve off that wall to make that narrow landing. On the YT bike, sprinting now. What's he got left in those legs? Walker was impressive on this bottom section. Is it going to be enough for Nunes, Matthias then? Oh, it's going to be close, you know. 40, 41, he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. He goes into second place. Nearly 2 seconds back. Walker was incredible on the bottom part. Well, the Chilean rider will be happy with that. His best ever result here, though, in Valparaiso. He will be 3rd today at worst. Only Thomas Slavic now, the defending champion, is at the top. Hard off that wall there, incredible. Here he is then, Thomas Slavic, the reigning champion. Already has won Puerto Vallarta in Mexico and Grasse in France urban downhills. And actually he's on an enduro bike there, the shorter travel bike, the lighter bike, single crown fork on it. These are the parts of the course where you'd think that would be a disadvantage. Managed to stay on the staircase. But when it comes to the flat parts and the pedaling, Slavic will be hauling on that bike. And he doesn't look like he's going badly down these stairs at all. Look at him, doubling down here. Across the roofs he goes, Thomas Slavic. His 5th time here, won it at his 4th try. Again. Ooh. Braking hard on that dirt before he got on that slippery tarmac. Now he goes wide. Gives him a good line here. Hard on the pedal, Slavic. 2 times a 4-cross world champion, this man. Lacks 0 horsepower. Riding for Ghost Bicycles. World champion. 2010 and 2014 in 4-cross. Dominated really the 4-cross Pro Tour the years after that as well. From the Czech Republic. Near Brno actually. Up in the north of the country. So a 2:02 at this split is what Slavic needs. Going to come in a shot. You can see the ramp now, the takeoff in the shadows. The landing there. And Slavic nails it. And he's sprinting there hard onto this long, steep straight down through the houses. 2:02, he's up by over a second then. Oh, well. But Walker was really fast from here down. I can't imagine this man being much slower though. A couple of hard pedal strokes in there. Super low on that wall. And now comes the power. Slavic sprints. Is he sprinting towards the win? The advantage is with him. He is an absolute powerhouse, this man. Here he comes in out of the container. The enduro bike might have been the key today. Slavic is gonna smash it in South America. Slavic takes the win. Back-to-back wins for Thomas Slavic, over half a second. Wow, what a run. Incredible. Matt Walker in to congratulate him. What a race we have had here. Yeah, Thomas. Well, starting to focus more and more on city downhills, this man. And you can see why. The full package, the skills, the power. Slavic has absolutely everything. Took him 4 years to win it, but now he's unstoppable. Here he is.
Man, it was always like a goal to make back-to-back win. As I saw the start, it's like I was just saying, like, it's gonna be super hard, it's gonna be super difficult because these guys, they know what's up. And I'm so stoked. I left everything I had on the track. I cannot even talk now, so I'm super stoked and happy that it worked out. And thank you guys from Chile, because the crowd was amazing and pushing to the finish was just the most beautiful thing ever.
Démosle un gran aplauso a Thomas Slavic, que agradece al público chileno por todo el apoyo.
I like a party.
The party? I'm already in a party mode.
Yeah.
Un gran aplauso para Thomas Slavic, el actual
Slavic
campeón.
in a
Y
party
lo queremos
mood, I don't
llevar hacia
blame
acá,
him.
por favor.
Perhaps the most unconventional downhill race on the planet, the Valparaiso Cerro Abajo. Slavic, though. Thomas Slavic from the Czech Republic laid down this run to take the win. 29 years old now, Thomas. Loves four-cross so much, he actually built a massive four-cross track in his hometown of Jablanek na Nesu, just outside Brno in the Czech Republic. And despite that bike, with the shorter travel, he didn't appear to me to lose any speed whatsoever on the staircases or, well, look at that, missed the ramp there, just had to bunny up onto the side of it. That's thinking on your feet or on your wheels. And what can you say about Matt Walker? Well, you know, big respect to him. First time here in Chile. A handful of practice runs, literally, as the course gets built shortly before this race and taken down immediately afterwards. The town wants to the dogs want to be able to run wild on the streets again.
La pérgola.
But Thomas Slavic rode the wheels off it today.
¿Hasta dónde puede llegar?
En primer lugar, por segundo año consecutivo, Thomas Slavic. En segundo lugar, Matt Walker. Y el tercero, el chileno, de la zona de la casa, Mati Núñez. Y a prepararse todo el mundo, porque ya nos vamos a la segunda premiación en escasos minutos más en la zona de la pérgola.
So just tuck in there, Slavic. Watch how low he stays on this wall there. And those all add up. You could lose well, maybe not half a second, but a couple of tenths if you get high on those walls. And at this point, all Thomas had to do was turn those pedals, and he did it. With all the power he has. Two times a four-cross world champion, two times a winner now here in Valparaiso. So Slavic takes the win. Matt Walker at his first attempt, got to be happy with that. 2:42 as well, some 6 seconds faster than his winning time from last year. Chile, they've got a lot to shout about. Matias Nunes coming in third place for them as well, so a great ride for him. Well, you enjoyed the race today? We'll be back actually quite shortly now. The World Cup starts. Cross country first, March the 8th from Stellenbosch in South Africa. And the Downhill World Cup starts on April the 22nd. And that is all live on Red Bull TV. I hope you enjoyed this race as much as myself. Until next time, goodbye.